Hi, this is Dan Aykroyd. He's progressive. He's beautiful. He's thoughtful. He's intelligent. He's powerful. He's positive. He is Stephen Cuoco on Power 98.5 Satellite Radio.
Empowering listeners from the US to the UK. Live on air with Stephen Cuoco.
It's an exciting day, even though my voice was cleared. Sometimes I'll do my little warm-ups, and then all of a sudden, and I'm not going to complain, that good old New Jersey air. It was like, we're going to be adding a little bit of in with your interview for today with Mr. Zeke Bridges, also known as Ezekiel Bridges. Awesome guy. I want to say, officially, we are friends. We're still getting to know each other. We can have candid conversations with each other. He knows I don't hold back from anything. I speak to him as though I've known him his entire life, or he's known me his entire life, but we don't want to age him. He's very much a lot younger than I am. But yeah, Mr. Ezekiel Bridges, known as Zeke, is making a huge dent in the entertainment industry as a dynamic and versatile actor. He's born in Los Angeles, 1993. Doesn't seem that long ago. But yeah, September 24th. Don't know what his birth sign is. We'll find out. And he carries with him a legacy of Hollywood royalty as the youngest grandson of the legendary film and television star Lloyd Bridges and his wife, Dorothy Dean Bridges. But as you know, Ezekiel, a.k.a. Zeke, it's all about the name and the legacy that you're building for yourself, and you're doing exceptionally well.
That's right, Stephen, man. How you doing?
I'm doing awesome. Welcome to, hey, Live on Air with Stephen Cuoco.
Yeah, good to hear your voice.
You too. You've done a lot of great interviews. The media is loving you. You're getting a lot of great, not only attention, but in a very, very good way. We've got a lot of things that we're going to talk about, some good old bullet points here, especially with Eye of the Goat. Where do you want to start off?
Oh, well, I don't know. Where do you want to start off? I was just curious to see how you're doing today.
Well, as you know, I'm putting together a film festival here in my hometown of Phillipsburg, New Jersey, having conversations with Regal Cinema. I was told consider November of this year to do it. And I was like, well, that's going to be Thanksgiving. I don't know how. And living here on the Northeast between New York, Pennsylvania, and New Jersey, you can add Connecticut, but the top three states, most people usually travel to here. And I'm thinking, could the first weekend of November, Zeke, be a good idea? Definitely, I don't think the second weekend. Maybe consider Halloween weekend. I mean, do people even go trick-or-treating anymore?
Well, yeah, I think first week of November would be good. Maybe if you do it during Halloween, people show up in costumes and stuff. Could be a good time.
Yeah, what do they call that?
Trick-or-treating?
But what is that thing? Cosplay.
Oh, yeah, cosplay. Come as your favorite movie character.
Maybe we can get some movie submissions where people are in cosplay, and that would fit perfect. Like have a little mini festival in a festival.
Yeah, that'd be pretty cool.
I just said to Scott over at Regal, he's huge in Comic-Con. I said, I should plan after the first festival a Comic-Con film festival where we can do, like what you said, where people can dress up, come as your favorite character. I'm not going to lie, I don't know much about Comic-Con. Did read comics when I was younger. I had many of them. I don't think they exist anymore. Don't know what happened. I mean, as an kid from the 70s and 80s, you would think we would know better of taking care of things, yet back then a lot of things could easily be replaced and they didn't cost as much as things cost today. But if I knew really was responsible, Zeke. And I always took care of my stuff, but if I knew that my comic books really could have been of worth, I would have really have kept them in a plastic and locked them up in a freezer or something.
Yeah, it's funny you say that because I never really got super into comics. Actually, today I think there's a lot more like independent comic book writers. Like I think we have one that our buddy made up called, I think it's like the Shirtless Bear Fighting Man or something. It's some crazy wild comic. But for me, my collectible thing back in the day was Pokemon cards. And, thanks to my mom, I must have given her my binder because I had them all in like hermetically sealed kind of like things to really take care of them. But, I almost forgot about them. And then my mom showed me in a box in the garage, I have my collection from back in the day. So I'm pretty excited about that. I saw my nephew was taking them out, trying to play with them. I was like, wait, that's my retirement. Hold on.
Have you checked the cost of them?
I've thumbed through. There's no real, like crazy money makers in there. Although I do have a memory from back in the day. I traded like a first edition Charizard for, I think it was like a Blastoise and like some other character. And, those things are going for crazy amounts of money nowadays. So,
I don't mean this as a joke, but you never know. Did you get into the Beanie Babies?
Yeah, I was pretty into Beanie Babies back in the day. I don't think any of those survived, but survived the couple moves.
Thank you. Yeah, military brat. Thank you for the reminder. That's why I never kept my comic books, because all the freaking moves that we had due to the Navy moving us all around the place. Thank you for that. Yeah. It's amazing just the tens of thousands of dollars for a little stuffed animal with a tag on it.
Oh, yeah.
You can, what? You can buy, a new Mercedes, or maybe, I don't know, I could be exaggerating. I don't know if a Beanie Baby could be worth over $100,000, like the price of a Maserati or something.
Well, that's the Charizard. I think I saw one go for like $500,000 or something.
What?
I could be wrong. It might have been like 100,000, but like it was something that just made my eyes go. And then it brought me back to that memory, and I was like, "Damn it!"
What's the life like been since childhood? How do you see yourself with the accomplishments you've made? You're continuing to make. You're very different from other child stars in the business. And if you're able to share, have you found that you've been able to retain your identity outside of your family history, where you don't have to worry about somebody opening up doors because of the name Bridges, and that they respect you for who you are because you're just a standalone guy and professional? I hope that's coming across clear to you of what I'm asking.
Yeah. I kind of say that I was lucky that I wasn't exactly like a child star. I really started in college, although I think I may have done something like one or two projects when I was a kid. But, as far as the name and everything, it's like, it is something I do want to make my own way. But at the same time, I really want to honor, like, what my dad and, family have done for the industry. So it's kind of like a double-edged sword sometimes. I definitely want to make my way, but also, working with family it's one of the, greatest honors in a lot of ways. It's something that, my grandpa helped get my dad and uncle some jobs in the beginning, but then later on, he was asking them if there was any parts for him in their movies that they were doing.
And you've got a incredible history. Hold on for a moment. I've got it right here. And I'm reading this correctly. Is it that you are of Hawaiian descent or part of Hawaiian culture? What is your connection?
Well, my folks have had a place there since the early 90s. So, we have a lot of friends out there, and I'm actually developing a movie right now. It's an animated film with a dear friend of ours, Michael Kiale. And the Eye of the Goat, it's a story that was based on an old folk song from Mike's family that's been passed down from generation to generation. It has to do with life, death, love and redemption. And, in many cultures, including the Hawaiian culture, family history was preserved in stories told from one generation to another. But that history did not only consist of like census records and birth certificates. It's centered around how Hawaiians interacted with other Hawaiians and how they interacted with the Aina, the island, which includes ocean, mountains, even animals. And to this day, family gods like the manu, shark, the mo'o, lizard, the hanu, turtle are still highly revered and respected. But as far as the movie goes, it centers around a goat and how the main character becomes possessed with pursuing it, but doesn't exactly know why. And the goat, on the other hand, seems possessed as well and leading him into a place that's yet to be determined in the film. I don't want to give too much away about it, but
So I see it's centered around how Hawaiians interacted with other Hawaiians, how they interacted to is that the Aina?
The Aina.
Aina. Are there the native Hawaiians, are they part of this project at all? What did you include? How is any more of history from their perspective shared in this narrative?
Well, it takes place in the Kalalau Valley back in the 1800s. It was kind of like the intersection of, the old gods and like the kind of the new Christianity coming into it. And it's, it's this story of a father and son going on a hunting trip. The son dies, and then this man gets incredibly angry with himself and life at a whole. And he sees this goat, which was his son's pet goat, and he chases it up the mountain. And the goat leads him to the exact spot that his son died, and he has these really kind of terrible things that he has to deal with mentally. And then, I don't want to talk too much about it because, we're still trying to get it going. But, it's fully developed. We're shopping it around. We've been having some good meetings. And, I'm really excited about it.
Obviously, I'm sure if anyone were to go to IMDb, they could find out a little information. But we're giving a little bit of a plug on it to share with everyone here on Power 98.5 satellite radio, as well as Biz Talk Radio. And for those that are tuning in to the live interview, I've got Mr. Zeke Bridges with us today. He's an actor. Can we add on that you're a producer as well? I mean, you're going to have more titles, don't you?
Yes, I do a little bit of writing as well.
What's your passion? Acting, writing, all the above? What brings you more to the fore of who you are?
I really love telling stories, and again, anything that has to do with animals. I worked a little bit at the Australia Zoo back in the day, and can't get enough of the animals.
May have to set you up with David Rogers, who's the owner of the Australian Firefighters calendar, and they have all wildlife that's part of it, including dogs and cats, and 100% of the proceeds goes to helping fight cancer and everything.
It's amazing.
Yeah, it's incredible how, in the opportunity, especially with Eye of the Goat, I'm looking forward to this. I enjoy watching stories and hearing stories about the power of an animal. the royalty of even something as a butterfly or a dragonfly or a rabbit. That's what I find what they're all about, the totem, the energy to this. Do you find that fascinating? And personally, do you like to, or would you ever get more involved in whether it's animation, whether it's even a film, of bringing more to light about the power, and not just with the Hawaiian culture, but how, whether it's religion or native cultures, really value animals?
Yeah, I think there's something inherently spiritual about animals. They're these living beings that, don't speak the same language of us, but they command so much respect from a lot of people, and just draw up so much interest. It's like there's this bustling amount of life all over the earth, and it's really an amazing thing.
We know you're busy, so I don't expect that everything to be perfect behind you. I just a little bit. It's all good. It's. I just had a moment there for a moment. I don't know, what else? I mean, not only would I look forward to seeing you hopefully by the end of the year, provided if you're able to come out and this film festival takes off, but what else have you got yourself more into, and what brings you most joy of what's going on in your life? Because there's not too much information out there about you personally, and if it's meant to be that way, I don't mind keeping it that way.
Yeah, in my private or in my personal life, I like to keep things a little private, just because growing up in the business and kind of seeing how it can affect people, I like to keep a low profile for the most part. But as far as things I'm working on, Stevens Pass is what's up next in the pipeline, and that is it's a survival story that takes place in the Pacific Northwest on the Stevens Pass hiking trail. In the 80s, there was this big nature event called Heat Dome that wiped out a bunch of hikers on the trail. The temperature raised above, triple degree heat for weeks at a time. Hikers were stranded out there without water, a way out of their situation. And I'll be playing First Lieutenant Clark, or Ranger Clark. He helps save the protagonists from their endeavors, and it's going to be directed by Amanda Renee Knox, who I've worked with in the past, and she's just incredible. She's one of the most motivated and talented emerging directors I've seen today. And so far, myself and Katrina Law are attached to the film, and hopefully that's going to start shooting this summer.
Oh, that'll be exciting! Wow, how many months?
Yeah, I get to go up in a helicopter. I'm excited.
Is productions for the whole summer, or is it just going to be short? What's happening?
We haven't gotten our schedules yet, but it's I think we're going to be shooting in the Pacific Northwest, so it will take some time, but it's going to be a fun one.
One of the things I wasn't too sure about doing, because I don't plan this out, but I'm going to do a thing called Where Are You Now? So going back to July 17th of 2023, there was an article by Shout Out LA. Meet Zeke Bridges, actor, writer, and producer. So we're going to go back to finding out from over a year ago, or no, not, is it a year ago? Going to be coming up a year very, very soon. So they had asked you, how do you think about risk? I've got the answer in front of me, but what comes to your mind now, Zeke, about risk? What have you done? What do you consider to be a risk in your life? And what can you offer?
Well, I think risks need to be taken. It's one of the only ways to really find out something about your life. It's because if you don't take that risk, then you'll never really know what might have happened, what could have happened. It just opens up a lot of avenues for possibilities in one's life. I think just being an actor in itself is a massive risk. It's not something to be taken lightly. You gotta prepare.
Your answer then was taking risks is one of the great ways to grow in life. Every time you take a risk and put yourself out there, the universe will respond. Sometimes that response will surprise and enlighten you on new possibilities. How do you feel about that now? You still agree with that?
Yeah, I still agree with that. It's actually kind of similar to what I said. So maybe I'm still in that period of just taking risks.
What keeps you busy professionally?
Auditions, writing, meeting with the teams of people for these projects. Mm-hmm. Another one that's happening right now is I'm developing it's kind of like a continuation story of sorts for Sea Hunt. It stars Michelle Nelson, who is the granddaughter of Mike Nelson, who was played by my grandfather, Lloyd. And she's a surfer turned Coast Guard kind of CGIS member. And the show will follow her and her team through different sieges, raids, and international scenarios involving the Coast Guard. I got to meet a lot of the real deal people out there. I went to the changing of command at the base in Long Beach, the Coast Guard base, and it was really amazing. I got to meet a lot of cool people, Commander Lisa Sharkey and Commander Rob Poitinger. It was a really, really great time, and that one I'm pretty excited about. That one's not as far along. That one we're still developing, working on episodes and things, but making contacts, that's a big part of it. Always.
I mean, everything's public relations. It is about that Rolodex, but also the type of relationship or ships or impacts that you've left to be remembered by, even something so simple or kind. Almost a year ago, your answer is art is amazing, hands down, whether it's the art of telling a story or making something with your hands.
Yeah. And, art can be found in nature too. I was taking a walk on the beach with my cousin the other day, and he found this, this amazing rock that right in the center, it looked like a smooth river stone. And right in the center of the rock was this perfect monkey paw. I don't know if it was some kind of seashell that got smushed by sand a million years ago and kind of made this fossil, but it looked exactly like a monkey paw. It's the coolest thing ever.
Let's say your best friend was visiting the area and you wanted to show them the best time ever. Where would you take them? Give us a little itinerary. Say it was a week-long trip. Where would you eat, drink, visit, hang out, etc.?
Well, I think we'd have to start at the beach, maybe. An undisclosed point, because I don't want to give away the spot.
No, you can't do that.
Start there. Maybe get some breakfast burritos at the Country Kitchen, little shack there on PCH. And then, I really enjoy watching movies, so maybe go to one of the local theaters, catch a movie, maybe go hunt for some seashells. Then, where would we eat later that night? I've been really into some Korean barbecue.
Ooh.
Maybe get some bulgogis, rice, some kimchi.
Okay.
Yeah. And then, probably if we get some drinks, maybe go somewhere local.
Always the best.
Yeah.
Your answer a year ago was, How interesting. It's I would definitely take them to the beach and get one of my favorite breakfast burritos at Country Kitchen.
Oh yeah, see, I'm a creature of habit, man.
It's a small little shack in Malibu across from Duke's restaurant, and later go see a live show at Aviator Nation, an intimate venue also in Malibu.
Oh yeah.
Later in a week, we'll do a full food and drink tour, stopping at one of my favorite places in Santa Monica, Upper West. But it wouldn't be right. Passing through Santa Monica without getting a burger from Heavy Handed.
Oh yeah, shout out Heavy Handed. Shout out Heavy Handed. That was a burger restaurant started by my dear friend Danny Gordon from back in the day. And yeah, he just opened up a second location in Studio City. Yeah.
You got to let him know about the interview. And you went down where you a little questionnaire of where you're at now, and there you go. Yeah, even about a year ago, you dropped Heavy Handed.
Yeah, and since then he's actually opened the second one. So yeah, it's been going well.
In quote, you wrote, "Best burgers in town, and my buddy owns a place. 100% recommend."
Yes, yeah, still stands.
That's awesome. Seriously, that's a huge success, not only to get one location, but two. Wow.
Oh yeah, and the place is awesome. You know, they got cool art all over the place, really bright colors. And it's a mean short rib beef smash burger. It's really, really good.
Is he planning on franchising it at all?
Maybe. I don't know.
You can let him know. I suggested it if it's that good.
Stop by and check in with them.
Yeah, seriously. I mean, it's something to consider. What you telling me that's the first thing that comes to my mind. That's where you can not only impact and help a community and create great jobs, but also.
Yeah, I'd say the way things are going, I would be surprised if they didn't.
The Shout Out series is all about recognizing that our success and where we are in life is at least somewhat thanks to the efforts, support, mentorship, love, and encouragement of others. So is there someone that you would want to dedicate your shout out to? Where are you at now with that, Zeke?
Can I say two names?
You say whatever you want.
I'll say Jackson Kellard, an amazing writer, childhood friend of mine. He's got some things in the works right now and working on funding, and he's he's hilarious. He's such a good writer, and he's making like a coming of age story right now. And then the other one I'd have to shout out is Amanda Renee Knox. She's an incredible director. We're getting ready to work on this next one, and I think people need to start giving her projects left and right.
Your answer a year ago is, my family has been incredibly supportive. I like to shout out my father, Beau, who has been my coach in every sense of the way since I was young, from soccer, basketball coach, on little league teams to acting coach as an adult. He's a powerful and sensitive man with a trained eye for entertainment. You also said that you like to give a shout out to Stephanie Fury.
Yeah, Stephanie Fury.
She is an acting coach I met in college and later studied with in Hollywood. I recommend her class to everyone that is interested. And then lastly, you said, as well as a shout out to Amanda Renee Knox, a creative collaborator. She is a world-class director. We've worked on several projects together and plan for more in the future.
Yeah. Stephanie Fury, they're taking signups now. Go check it out.
How does it feel going down memory lane? Where are you at now? Hearing your answers from almost a year ago, and then knowing where you're at now.
Yeah, it's nice. It's it's funny how similar some of the things were, but I guess a year. Well, a lot can happen in a year, but I guess there's two perspectives on it. A year's not that long, and a year's a long time. But it was funny seeing how similar some of the answers were, and it just makes me realize, hey, I am a little creature of habit. I like to do the same things, kind of maintain my status quo, and yeah.
how do you feel about your own evolution? I mean, not only in that moment and that experience, Zeke, but the fact to where the feeling of what you've accomplished in that time, but most importantly, what you've kept near and dear to your heart. It's incredible to have that reflection, that mirror in front of you where you're able to associate some sort of reflection to compare in a very good way to have an understanding of what really held value in your life.
Yeah. Yeah, some of it being so similar kind of makes me want to shake some things up a little bit, you know what I mean?
Mm-hmm.
Sometimes you need a good shakedown. But yeah, really at the end of the day, I just kind of want to be remembered as a good person. So I try and, bring that up in my life as much as possible to, do acts of service or reach out to old friends, something to just remind you that you're alive and that at the end of the day, everyone's good. At least that's what I believe. Everyone's born good, and we want to make the earth that we live on a peaceful place for everyone around.
Are you hopeful of not only where the industry is going, but what words of wisdom can you share to those who are wanting to be in a position that you're in as a writer, producer, actor? What is the hope that you can convey so that people just don't get tired of being tired to just give up?
Oh, well, you just got to keep pushing. It could be, a little scary with kind of long spats of nothing happening, but you just got to keep working on it and believe in your projects. And, if you have something that you've been writing and you've taken a year or two off of it, maybe jump back. You're going to have a brand new kind of perspective on the whole thing. And maybe that third act that you got stuck on will start to come to you because you took that time off. So don't I guess what I'm saying is don't feel bad on yourself if you feel like you're stuck. Give it a little time, come back to it, and some new things will surface.
Are you a dad yet, or do you plan on being a dad?
No, I'm not a father of my own yet. Yeah, I'd like to have some kids one day. Yeah, definitely.
Oh, we'll see how you feel if you're going to be like, hey, you know what? The film industry inspired me so much, and I have so much to look forward to and so proud to share this forward for your own kids. And it'd be nice to know that conversation could happen and to see what the reflection would be like in comparison to your journey of the legacy you're leaving for where you've come from, and then what you could possibly do for your child or children that you should have. And I can picture you having at least one boy, one girl.
That would be pretty cool. Yeah. Yeah. I don't see it at any time in the near future, but definitely one day. Yeah.
Are you ever planning on, and this isn't, I feel that this is a legitimate question. You have an incredible look. You've got a very interesting way of expressing your identity through fashion, through photo, even a look at your Instagram. And everyone can go ahead and check out Zeke's Instagram page, Zeke Bridges. It's different. It's very organic and authentic. It's not Hollywood. Has that always been you, or is there some sort of resistance that's inside of you that you see something every day in the business and you just come to realize naturally who you are so well that there is no question that you don't always need to have on or wear a Tom Ford or Louis Vuitton or carrying around a Gucci bag?
Yeah, well, that's interesting. I I don't really like all the designer stuff. I don't know. I don't. I think I don't know. I don't actually. That's not really it. Because when I put on something like a cool designer thing, I feel awesome. You know, like, but like at the end of the day, it's like most of my clothes are just gifts. You know, like I don't. I probably should work on my fashion sense a little more. Yeah, it's usually gifts or, you know, clothes that got left behind. I'm like, oh, I like that shirt. That looks like it's a comfy shirt. You know.
Well, if
yeah,
depending on
something I should probably work on.
Yeah, you and I had that conversation. You know what I would like to see if it ever happens, because you offer a lot of wildlife photos and content on your page, is some sort of recycled, whether it's clothing or something. I don't know. I just think, I'm not saying to start a fashion brand. I'm just going to say, just don't dismiss it that you could end up creating something that's very earthy, very natural, very environmentally friendly, and have a good story behind it. Yeah,
you know, that's not a bad idea. I definitely do love those kind of more earthy brands and earth tones, browns, greens, you know.
What's your music of choice now?
Well, you know, I really love all types of music, but one band I've been listening to on repeat, they're a relatively small band, still, Guantanamo Bay Surf Club. Their first album has like probably 3 or 4 different genres of music on it, but it's so good. I would recommend people checking that out. You know, and I kind of lean usually more towards like acoustic stuff or, you know, reggae, but then when I get a wild hair up and, you know, listen to some punk and some metal and stuff. You know, I listen to a lot of different genres.
Any book you can recommend?
Acting, the First 6 Lessons.
Ooh. Repeat that again.
The book is called Acting, the First 6 Lessons by Richard Boleslavsky. It was a book that was passed from my grandpa to my folks, and you know, they ended up passing it down to all myself and all my siblings, and it's a really amazing book. It's actually, my sister directed a movie based on the book, so there's also that if you want to check that out.
Yeah, drop that name.
Yeah, Acting, the First 6 Lessons, directed by Emily Bridges, and my father Beau is also in it. They shot it over at the Ringling College.
Wow.
They got just amazing facilities over there.
You know, I asked because about a couple rows down, you've got this beautiful photo of all of these books laying out on the floor with the...
Oh, yeah, Sam Shepard.
Yeah, it's a gorgeous photo. I'm like, all right, what is this from? Yeah,
that was actually when I was studying at the Stephanie Fury Acting Studio in Hollywood. We were, you know, she's so good at picking out, you know, different playwrights or specific plays for that, like that person, you know, and she, it was Sam Shepard time for us, and we ended up doing a play on Cowboy Mouth, which is, you know, pretty wild, wild play in itself. I think Sam Shepard and Patti Smith wrote that on some kind of like drug-fueled hotel bender when, you know, back in the day. It's a wild play.
Zeke, thank you for being with us today on Live on Air with Stephen Cuoco on Power 98.5 and Biz Talk Radio. Any closing thoughts?
No, you know, thank you for having me on your show, man. It was a pleasure talking to you. It's always a good time.
I appreciate it, and I appreciate you, and thank you again. It's an honor, and can't wait to meet you in person.
Yes, I'm looking forward to it. I'm looking forward to the film festival as well.
I appreciate that. I'll keep you posted, and everyone else, thank you again. Head on over to Zeke's page, Instagram, Zeke Bridges. Check the schedule on Power 98.5 and Biz Talk Radio. Stay tuned.